Hello, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be talking about brake fluid. So to start off, why should you be listening to me? I have been working within the motor industry for 35 years with the big manufacturers: Jaguar, Land Rover, Chrysler, Jeep, Lotus, Seat, Volkswagen. So I know a little bit about cars and why we're doing things to cars. In this video we're going to be talking about why you should replace your brake fluid. So the general recommendation to replace brake fluid is every 2 years. However, manufacturers can move these intervals around really to suit their needs, and a little bit skeptical about that. So in this video we're going to be testing these brake fluids to see whether they're any good and whether the manufacturers and recommendations from the manufacturers are correct. So recently Volkswagen changed the interval on its brake fluid. On new cars it was initially at 3 years, and then after that recommended every 2. However, in 2021 they've now said that all cars the interval is every 2 years. The brake fluid hasn't changed and the cars haven't changed. So why have they shortened that first interval from 3 years to 2 years? So in most instances the reason that you're replacing your brake fluid is because you've gone to a garage or gone to a dealer and you've been recommended to replace the brake fluid. And if you query that, it will be because that's when it's recommended. If you query that even further, they'll give you a little bit more detail. And the reason that it is recommended every 2 years is that this fluid is hydroscopic, so it absorbs moisture from the atmosphere, and when you have too much moisture inside the fluid it can lower the boiling point down. So this is only really actually that relevant to cars that are being used in a high performance way, because in the 35 years that I've been driving I've never boiled the brake fluid on any of the cars I've been driving. I have had friends who have been essentially road racing their cars and they have boiled the brake fluid, but those cars would have been in a low state of repair, so probably did need the brake fluid changing. The other reason that it's recommended is really just to clean the fluid up. So this lubricates and activates the calipers and the master cylinder, and basically you've got little rubber seals in there that move in and out, and over time you are going to get wear on that rubber and you're going to get small particles of rubber that come off and get into the fluid and can contaminate it. The other reason is, as I said, it is hydroscopic. It absorbs moisture from the atmosphere, and moisture is a corrosive, so too much water inside the caliper could cause it to corrode and therefore potentially seize and fail. So the fluid when it is new should be clear, and as it gets older it's going to become this sort of black colour. And I've just done a brake fluid change on one of my vehicles, so I've got 3 samples of fluid to test. Brand new brake fluid, this tin of brake fluid which has been sitting on my shelf and is going to go in the bin, but as you can see it's corroded, so it's probably around about 10 years old, this fluid. And then this is the fluid that I've taken out of the motor vehicle that I've just changed the brake fluid on. We're going to be testing that to see whether it's still any good. So the cost of brake fluid ranges, and it can be fairly expensive. Somewhere in the region of £50 to £100 depending on the car or where you're getting it done. And the reason it's so important for the garage and the manufacturer to push that onto you is that it's a very easy money spinner. Now if you're going straight into the garage for brake fluid change, it will take, or they'll charge you around about half an hour of their labour to get that work done. if your car is being serviced, it's already on the ramp, and therefore it doesn't take them half an hour because the car's already lifted and the wheels are already exposed. They're simply just attaching this pipe and draining the fluid out. There's a very quick win for any dealer recommending to change the brake fluid. So if you get an hour to do a service and half hour to do the brake fluid, and you can combine the two, you win half an hour out of it, and in theory that discount should be passed on to the customer, but most garages aren't going to do that, because if it becomes too complex in terms of building a invoice up to be removing the time for doing the brake fluid and just charging you for the fluid. Some honest garages will use this. So this is a brake fluid tester. So this tester can be used to test the moisture content of the brake fluid. So we've got little lights on here, and basically if it's above 4% it needs to be replaced. If it's below that, in the 2 to 1% region, it's going to be okay. And this is suitable for all of these types of brake fluid, .3, .4, 5.1, 4 and 6. And this cost me, I think it was £7 off of Amazon. And if you put that into perspective of the cost of replacing your brake fluid, investing in one of those could save you a lot of money over the lifetime of ownership of a vehicle. So I've poured some of the new fluid down into the cap, and then you have to long press this to select which fluid you're testing. So .4 is what we're testing here, and we've got green light, so as expected this fluid is okay. So next we're going to test the 10-year-old brake fluid. Still looks clear, so looks okay. So let's test this one. We're again testing .4. So according to this tester, this fluid is okay. So last of all we're going to test this disgusting old brake fluid. It doesn't look so bad, does it, when you pour it into there? I mean, it's definitely not great in colour. Right, we're on 4. There we go. So it just goes to show this brake fluid definitely needed to be replaced. So, well, hope that has been a useful video. If there's things that I've missed, or my testing process wasn't good, then let me know in the comments down below. But I hope that's given you a bit of information, so that next time you're asked, should I have my brake fluid changed, you're better informed. So thanks for watching.